So there's a massive right-wing civil war currently ongoing. You have Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin versus Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens to one extent or another. Then you got people who are like sort of in the middle trying to make peace, like Alex Jones and Matt Walsh. Hey, why can't we all just get along? That sort of shit. It's really showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, it's speeding up, right? Ted Cruz is now leaning into the fight against Tucker Carlson, and you have the pro-Israel right versus the anti-Israel right, and there's, all these different dividing lines. And it's all happening because MAGA's falling apart, because Trump is making horrible decisions. It's a mess. He's a mess. He's an absolute mess. When, your trade war is destroying the economy, this is where you end up. Your own people end up at each other's throats. When your endless warmongering is, busting up the myth that you were ever anti-war, this is what happens. This is the result. So anyway, Nick Fuentes, not to be deterred, cannot help himself, and he decided to go after Tucker Carlson, one of the only fellow travelers in this war, this right-wing civil war that he has. Here we go.
All right, family. So, boom, everybody online talking about this supposed MAGA Civil War, right? Like it's WWE SmackDown every day on Twitter. You got Ben Shapiro, Mark Levine, and that whole Daily Wire squad on one side, clean-cut suit wearing pro-Israel, trying to keep it respectable. Then on the other side, you got Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, as he just mentioned in the clip, and Candace Owens acting like they got the real pulse of the people. And they're looking at them like, yo, y'all are frauds. Meanwhile, you got people like Alex Jones and Matt Walsh in the middle just standing there like your mom when your auntie start arguing at Thanksgiving, basically saying like, come on, y'all, why can't we just all get along? And the wildest part is this ain't slowing down. It's speeding up. You got Ted Cruz even jumped in and start throwing jabs at Tucker. Like we didn't just see him get cooked years ago when Trump called his wife ugly. So now it's turning into this big mess because MAGA, the movement itself, as he wants to say, is falling apart in the clip from the inside out, right? So Trump is supposed to be the guy holding all this together, right? But bro is making straight goofy decisions. That's what individuals like this man in the clip is saying. His trade war messed up the economy. The anti-war talk went out the window. The second bomb started flying. And now everyone who used to be riding for him is looking all around like, wait, what are we even doing anymore? Right? That's when your own people start turning on each other. And it's like when the plugs start messing up the product, when it comes to, the whole drug thing and drug dealers and the whole trap starts fighting, right? Individuals that are within a little crew of drug dealers fighting and having infighting over power, right? And they start turning on each other and all of that, right? So when you look at that, and Nick Fuentes, man, he's not letting up, right? Because he even came at Tucker, his only ally in this whole fight. Like, bro, y'all were on the same squad, so why are you airing them out now? But then you got the liberal media watching all of this, like the liberal man himself, who was just saying all this, and I'm basically just breaking down what he's saying. I'm not saying that's my opinion, but I'm just breaking this all the way down. And we're having a conversation, right? So when you look at it, right, with the liberal media watching this all unfold, like, yes, MAGA's done. Trump is finished. His base has abandoned him. Because that's basically what this man is saying that you see on the screen with this blue tie and this Snow White Jack Frost looking hair is saying, right? So now I want to get to Joy Taylor, right? And then I want to give you guys my opinion of the matter. And I want to get you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. So I want you guys to check out this next clip.
Vance has a problem in that the base of MAGA is fundamentally racist.
Yep.
And I know people don't like it when you say it, but it's the emergence from the Tea Party to MAGA.
Yeah.
Tea Party, when you finally did the actual data, PRRI and others, the thing that most motivated them was race and hatred of non-white immigrants. What most motivates MAGA? Hatred of non-white immigrants. They're obsessed with non-white immigrants and undocumented people. They use the term illegals, which is just the N-word for brown people.
100%.
If you want to say the N-word and it's about brown people, you say illegals. I'm sorry I said it again. That is me saying the N-word about that is what it is, right? And that's what motivates them. So they can't have the successor to MAGA be the guy with the brown Hindu wife. They're also Christian nationalists. That ain't gonna work. That's why he's throwing his wife under the bus. Poor Usha. Or she's in on it, right? And she's
playing
wicked too.
slap and tickle with Erica Kirk's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Yeah, she's like in her Tammy Faye era.
Okay. Holding on the back of his head and rubbing on his head.
Some weird shit.
Baby. Don't do that to Jason. I'm gonna start thinking something's going on. Why you holding the back of his head? I'm like, you not doing that right thing. You supposed to be a widow. You in leather pants?
It is.
That's not widow wear.
Could you imagine if...
Wouldn't it be the most perfect fairy tale, MAGA fairy tale?
Yeah.
If he finally sees the light that he needs a white queen instead of this brown Hindu? I mean, I'm not saying that's happening.
Right.
Or maybe that Usha's not even in on it. Maybe she's whatever. But that's one entrant. Another entrant is frankly Donald Trump Jr. If he can, keep it together, because he's got the name.
Yeah.
He's the son.
Yeah.
Maybe it's him, right?
Right.
And then there's other entrants. Bannon can't do it because he's sloppy and look a hot mess, and then
Yeah,
like
total
an
alky.
ugly man. You know what I mean? You're hideous. That's not gonna be him. So it's like, well, who could it be? Charlie Kirk was said to be one of the contestants to inherit the throne. Well, he's gone. And then the other person there are two other people who I think are potential inheritors that we don't talk about as much because neither of them are politicians. One of them is Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
who has been positioning himself for a long time.
When he's not getting attacked by demons.
In his sleep.
That's fucking crazy now.
Come on now.
Let me ask.
He says it out loud.
But honestly, if you were Beelzebub or a demon, who best?
And that's liberal media for you. And rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. And prayers to his family. It's just ridiculous how these individuals who are talking about a grieving woman when her husband, just a husband, a father, family member, a son, you name it, passed away. It's just so recent, and just how divisive and how evil individuals can be and how disrespectful, right? And it tells you, man, even at the cost of whatever they got to scramble and scrape to talk about, such as a widow that passed away, can put the political views aside just to tie it into political rhetoric and drama and divisive rhetoric that separates people is the most anti-American thing ever. You know, in my opinion, the American family is off the backs of strong families. And, you know, the American dream of having a house and having kids and be able to travel and, you know, enjoy the land of the free and travel across America and see so many beautiful things and embrace this beautiful land, right? And Joy Taylor, man, every time she talks, she discusses me more and more and how disrespectful she can be, right? But what I'm getting at is, as you guys can see, they are basically saying, liberal leotards like them, oh yeah, MAGA's done, Trump is finished, his base is abandoned him, CNN already throwing a funeral and everything. But here's the kicker. The numbers don't say that. Trump's approval with Republicans is still 87%. 6 months ago, 87%. Now, 87%. Not 1% drop. That man's base is locked in like a pit bull and a mailman. The people abandoning Trump, they were never deep in it. They liked the aesthetics, the clout, aka popularity, the anti-woke energy, but they was never 10 toes down. They were just riding the wave because it was cool to say MAGA. And when Biden was looking cooked, now that's just it's a little shaky, and you know, my prayers go out to our former president. He still was the president, rather that I support, and the actions he took. And was he a popular president in my eyes? No, but you know, I know how to put political views aside, unlike Joyless over here. Joy Reid, not Joy Taylor, Joy Reid. I think I named Joy. Yeah, Joy Reid. I call her Joyless because she takes joy out of everything. She's just a negative, disrespectful individual. If I said Joy Taylor earlier, my apologies. It's Joy Reid. But I can say prayers out to our former president Joe Biden, as he going through his whole cancer thing, right? Prostate cancer, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always open to the possibility of being wrong. But they basically hopping off like it was a free trial when it came to the MAGA and backing and supporting Donald Trump. And all this infighting online, all that is drama between influencers and political podcasters. Bro, that's X. That's Twitter. That's not real life. Go outside, touch grass, go to a Waffle House in Alabama. People still rocking Trump flags like it's game day, baby. Like it's game day. Okay? I want to put that out there. And Charlie Kirk used to be the middleman, right? The bridge between the moderate MAGA folks and the wild boy Nick Fuentes types. But he went ghost. And, ghost as in, he passed. But you know what I'm saying? Basically, unfortunately, he passed. But he's not here. Put it like that. And that power vacuum opened up, and now everybody is trying to fill the position that Charlie Kirk did phenomenal at, and he was just a blessing to this world, right? And spreading the word. And that's why people are fighting. It's not about ideas, it's about influence. It's Game of Thrones conservative edition, okay? But here's the difference. Trump still got the army. He's still running the GOP. His endorsements hit like Thor's hammer. 95%, 96% win rate in primaries. But I want you guys to check out this CNN clip because I think it botches what these leotards are saying that I showed you in these last two clips. And I want you to see it.
So is the president losing Republicans?
No. Look, this is still Donald Trump's Republican Party, and we can see it here. It's like a rock, to quote Bob Seger. I mean, take a look here. Republicans who approve of Trump. 6 months ago, it was 87%. Now, well, hello, it's the same number. It's 87%. He has not lost any support among Republicans compared to 6 months ago. As I said at the beginning, he's like a rock. He's like a rock. The Republican base is sticking by Donald Trump at this point in time.
It really is interesting to watch his overall approval rating go down, 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 but see this be completely constant here.
It is among independents. It is not among Republicans.
Okay, so how does this compare to past presidents in a second term?
Yeah, okay, I think this gives the game away, right? Which is Donald Trump, if you look at 21st century presidents' own party approval at this point in term two, who leads the pack? It's Donald John Trump. 87% of Republicans approve of Donald John Trump. You go back to 2013, 78% of Democrats supported Barack Obama, and it was 78% of Republicans who supported George W. Bush back in 2005 at this point. So Donald Trump has the biggest highest own party approval of any president who served their entire second term in the 21st century.
You could look at this one of two ways. You could say, obviously, he's doing way better than past presidents. Or you could say, there is still room to settle. If there is a reversion to the mean here, if that does fall further, that could chip into his overall approval rating. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning from Congress in January. One of the concerns is that Donald Trump backed someone in a primary against her. How has Donald Trump done in his congressional endorsements?
You know, when you go up against Donald Trump, you're going up against a buzzsaw because Donald Trump's endorsement record is, it's hard to find anyone else who beats it. Times Trump endorsees won GOP primaries. In 2020, it was 98%. 2022, it was 95%. In 2024, it was 96%. And I will note, the majority of times that Donald Trump backed a challenger to an incumbent like Marjorie Taylor Greene, that challenger won a majority of the time. The bottom line is this. There was a real reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene decided, you know what, it's not worth the fight, because more times than not, when you go up against Donald Trump in a Republican primary, you lose.
Not just more times than not, almost all times.
Almost all of the times, yes.
Based on these. All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's saying she's not going to run for president, but there are other questions, which is, hey, is she going to stay a Republican even? What do the markets think about that?
All right, so we go to the prediction markets here, and the chance to leave the Republican Party by January 1st of 2027. You can see it, 31%. I think this is a pretty good baseline, which is more likely than not, Marjorie Taylor Greene will stay within the Republican ranks. But there's actually a pretty decent chance that she doesn't. And then that becomes really interesting to see what she has to say about Republicans and Donald Trump in particular if she decides to wave adios amigos.
This is the Republicans, the prediction market saying there is a chance.
There is a chance.
Harriet, and thank you very much.
So that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is waving the white flag. Like, I ain't running. I'm good. Because she knows what time it is. She knows what time it is. Now, yes, independents are a problem. Trump's approval with them is down. But guess what? That happens to every president in their second term. Right? Because if you look at this, I was looking at this poll here, right? Well, I was looking at the poll average, and I was looking at the approval rate between the presidents when it came between Obama, Bush, and President Trump and the second term job approval and all of that, right? Well, you look at them, right? Obama had like 41% around this time. Bush had like 39%. Trump got like 43%. And that's when the media that's with the media hitting Trump 24/7. Let's put that out there. That's what the Department of Justice breathing down his neck. That's what liberals out here acting like the purge is about to start. So when you put in context, Trump ain't doing bad, is what I'm saying. If you look at this chart overall, just from a general sense, that's why I'm bringing it to the front of the congregation here. But he's doing better than the last two presidents with way more hate. And he still has the support of the people that matter the most for him, the Republican base. And all this talk about Trump lost me because he bombed Iran or he deported too many people, that's not MAGA talk. That's independent talk. That's soft support. The real MAGA folks, Make America Great Again folks, wanted the wall. They wanted mass deportation. They wanted the country first. And Trump's actually doing that now. Ain't no new wars, borders locked down, inflation ain't what it was under Biden. And the economy, he passed the big tax cut bill like 3 months ago. The benefits ain't even hit people's pockets yet. Wait till tax refund season. Once them direct deposits start landing, opinions are going to shift. Right? Because the big beautiful bill is what I'm talking about, which was the big tax cut bill. They're going to put more in your pockets income tax wise. And I'm going to do a separate video because Trump is actually trying to get rid of the income tax. Get rid of income tax. And I think it's a beautiful thing. Because to be honest, from my understanding, taxes was only the front of World War II. It was never nothing law-wise for taxes to consider. It's just that us Americans, we just continue to go along with it because if there's enough money to fund all the programs, what do we need income tax? What do we need to tax federal taxes for, right? What do we need the IRS? What do we need all this stuff for if the programs are being funded? I feel like income tax was only another way, shape, or form to funnel more monies than necessary to say we need more money for programs. And that's what gives these Democrats the ability to continue to put this country in such a deficit by giving money to illegals and us going into the red as a country, continue to borrow from the debt, or I should say, borrow to continue to increase the debt of our country, and which raises the cost of living. But if all these programs are being funneled for, we don't need no taxes we don't need to be taxing the American people if we already have the monies we need to fund it. What's the point of income tax? That's my point on it, right? Because it's like we're basically using the national debt of a credit card and we continue to borrow, and these Democrats are using these loopholes to fund these nonprofits to enrich themselves and jack up, use Obamacare to jack up high health insurance premiums that doesn't cover much to any, and propping up big pharma and all these things, but it's at the cost of hurting the American people. But the American people are being taxed to death, and it's not that these programs aren't being funded because they have the money and they're funded to death. But when you continue to expand the amount of we need more, being greedy, biting on more than you can chew because you're just being, because of greed from these politicians, it's not even about the best interests of Americans no more. Then it's like Do away with the income tax, man. Put the money in our pockets. Why we keep getting taxed to death federally when we can have tariffs? Other countries who are basically using us Americans, because we make up the market for these other countries like China to sell for them to be rich as a country. We are the global customer base. America has that power and that leverage. If we're taxing their goods to be shipped over here and that can do away with federal taxes and income tax and put more money in your check, why not? See, that shoots the whole Democrats' argument of needing more funding and continue to weaponize the government and using Congress to continue to prop up bills to just extend and create extensions and increase the amount to tax the American people. That's not right. Further away from the American dream and which the core values in which we stood on. So I believe it's beautiful, man. The big beautiful bill, once it hit, and once direct deposits start landing, like I said, opinions are going to really shift. And he said he was going to drop the stimulus check, right? Before midterms, like a mixtape, you know what I'm saying, in July, somewhere mid-July of 2026. But that's the thing. Let Donald Trump cook, man. Let him cook. Let the man cook. You judging a dish while he's still chopping onions. 8 months into the second term and people start saying he's finished. Like, stop it. You sound goofy. Goofy Goobert. Let's see what it looks like after a year or two, after we hit the midterms. That's when we'll really know where the GOP stands, the Republican Party. But this little influencer war online, it's content. It's clout chasing just to chase popularity. That's not the party. That's not the movement. That's just noise, okay? The base still locked in beautifully, baby. Real Republicans know what it is. Real conservatives know what it is. Real MAGA supporters know what it is. And the left, they better stop dancing on graves that don't exist yet, because this story ain't over, baby. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you guys got some vibe from this video. Subscribe and join the family. I'll catch you in the next one. Spread that peace, love, and positivity. Let the love supersede the hate. Peace.